I think politicians should get more power. Now, before you crash out and go in the comments and say, what do you mean they should get more power? Do you want a dictatorship? I sort of do. Now, I don't obviously believe in full dictatorships. There's a lot that comes with that obviously is not democratic or ideal. But when I say I think politicians, whether that's the president, whether I think that's the mayor of New York City, I do think they should be able to implement their policies with relative ease. Not that there's no pushback. Obviously, you don't want them to just do anything. I'm not saying that Zoran Mamdani or Donald Trump should be able to do just anything. But what I am saying is all these hoops that they need to jump through, Zoran needing to get approval from this guy and this guy and this guy, and we need to sign off here, and Donald Trump getting checked by the judges, etc., etc. I don't think this is a practical system. And I do think whether you like Trump or you dislike Trump, or whether you like Mamdani or you dislike Mamdani, I think whether you're a Democrat or Republican, I think you should want the executive, and I know Zoran Mamdani isn't the executive, but I do think you should want the person at the top to have more power for this reason. If you do support Donald Trump, obviously you want his agenda to be implemented. Or maybe you think you want his agenda to be implemented. Once it's implemented, maybe you feel differently. But if you're a Democrat, or if you're someone who doesn't like Trump, or and vice versa for Zoran Mamdani, the Fox News pundits, they are saying that he's the worst thing ever, and New York City is going to be a communist hellhole immediately. And maybe they're right, but here's the thing, is whether you like them or you don't like them, I'd like to see their policies be implemented so we can see and evaluate, you made these promises, you said you would stop these things from happening, we're going to give you the power, let's see if you can do it. We're not gonna put your hands behind your back. We're not gonna make you jump through hoops. Let's see it. You have relatively full reign. You have as much power as we can reasonably give you. Let's see if you can fix all these problems. And if you can't, then people know you're a fraud. But the current system, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Joe Biden, whether it's Donald Trump the first term, whether it's Obama, there's always this, we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. We didn't have the votes. We didn't have these votes. The judges stopped us. We couldn't build the wall, if you want that. We couldn't get rid of student loans. We can't do it. We couldn't get universal health care. We can't do it. There's a lot of things these people can't do. They make promises, and whether it's their fault, whether they knew they couldn't do it, whether it's the corrupt judicial system, whether it's the House of Representatives, they can never get it done. They always say, oh, I couldn't do it. Zoran Mamdani is probably going to get elected, and then most of his promises will not come to fruition, and he's going to end up saying, oh, I couldn't get it done. My hands are tied. I can't get it done. But you still need to continue to vote for me. That's kind of my issue, is we never get to see these parties and the factions within these parties. We never get to see them fully implement their program, because there's always the cop-out of, oh, well, I couldn't. I would have been a great president, but I was handicapped. I want to see them implement everything they would like to implement, and then we can evaluate. And then in 2028, and if you're a Democrat and you're saying, oh, well, I don't want Trump to have free reign. If you think Trump is as bad as you believe, and most Democrats believe he's horrible, and that's not what this video is about. This isn't saying Zoran Mamdani is horrible. This isn't saying Donald Trump's horrible. If you do believe he's horrible, you should want him to implement every policy possible, because then you will have power for the next 15 to 20 years. If Donald Trump is that bad and is able to have free reign and implement all these policies, sure, it might take some cleanup in your opinion. It might damage people. And I understand you're saying, well, I just want everyone to be as good as possible now, and I don't want Trump to do damage. Okay, I get that. But if you can have 4 or 5, he's that bad that he's going to tank everything and everyone, because we're allowing these people, these presidents, these mayors to have more dictatorial power, it is very easy to point it back to Trump. But the current system we have, you can never really point anything to the president, because they don't have full unilateral control. They can always blame it on the media. They can always blame it on the Fed chair. They can always blame it on the senators. They can blame it on the judges. And it is kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card, because in 2028, whoever's running for the Republicans, whoever's running for the Democrats, the voters will say, why did you not get these promises done? And they'll say, we couldn't. But you need to keep voting for us. I don't like the system. We do need some guardrails, obviously. We can't have people becoming dictators and just staying in power forever. We can't have people just doing anything. We can't have them killing people. But within reason, if Joe Biden wants to slash student loans, and just completely wipe out debt, or if he just wants to, let's say Joe Biden wants to completely wipe out debt just in general. Let's see how it works. I'm not giving my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to be great. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but let's see how it works. And if it works beautifully, then the Democrats will be in power forever. If Democratic policies are that good, or Republican policies are that good, that when implemented without pushback, they just open up a golden age, and we just will go on forever with Democrat or Republican control, I think that's how the system should work. I think if Trump, with free reign, can accomplish all these things, I think he should have the ability to do it. And if it happens, then America is just in a golden age for eternity. And if it doesn't happen, then the Democrats have the easiest, they're going to win 70 Senate seats. If Donald Trump is that bad and he implements all these things, they'll just win in a landslide. They'll win 50 states. Sounds like a plan.